Holy shit, that is how we get it done! Whoa! Jesus, what a game tonight! What? Right when we think it's about to be over, 2.2 seconds left on the clock, and what does Brett do? Is he gonna have the balls? Is he gonna have the cojones to win the game, or is he gonna... It's enough time to get up a shot and tie it, take another 5 minutes going to OT? Nah. Brett said, fuck it, we're coming into the season with big-ass balls, and we're having them swing. No Embiid. How about Korkmaz, yo? The past 2 games, this kid is showing up. I mean, I want to hate on his defense, but what a big shot. Not being able... I thought for a second, like, oh, God, please don't step out of bounds. He had enough sense to not step out of bounds. Dame Lillard coming out to close out, and he pops the tray and swooshes it. Follow through, swoosh. I mean, wow, what a way to spoil a game for the Trailblazers. They were outstanding tonight, the Trailblazers. They freaking cooked us behind the arc, you know? And that last play with the Trailblazers, I wish Brett would have drew up a better play because you know Dame was going to kick it out. He knew he was going to get doubled, and they hit us with that freaking pick and roll with when they kicked it out to the corner, to that left-hand corner. They did that like 5 or 6 times. They just kept doing the same play, doing the same play, doing the same play. You know, and Anthony, I want to say Anthony Hardaway, but Anthony Simons, I think his name was, the young 20-year-old. I mean, he hit a big shot too, but what a way to spoil it. I mean, Dame Lillard went 8 for 12 from downtown. He was cooking tonight. He always cooks us, but we ruined that game for him. You know, no Embiid. They didn't really have any big men, did the Trailblazers, so you figured they'd go down low and attack them, which we started to do, and then we got away from it. You know, that's why we got down big. We were down by, what, 22 points at one point, midway through the third quarter, but... The defensive resilience of this team was there. They did not give up. They played hard. They fought back. And they got right back in this game. And, you know, give it a credit to this defense and not being able to give up. Outstanding. And give credit to Ben Simmons from knocking down those 2 free throws at the end. You don't want to be able to take... You want to be able to leave him in this game, not take him out at the end of game situations like that. But awesome. What a game. We are 5-0. Without the big fella. 5-0. Oh, man. I was like, if we were going to lose this game, I was about to roast 5 or 6 things on this game alone. But they were able to pull it out. Defensive tenacity. Everybody stepped up. And I just wish we wouldn't get into, like, change our game. You know, they didn't have any big men. You want to continue to go down in the post and attack them. Get them into foul trouble. Because they had to shoot a lot of threes because they didn't have any bigs. They were hurt. Nurkic is out, I think, still from that broken leg. They had Scalabizier was their only real big guy. But that defense, I mean, it got cooked a little bit, but it came back big towards the end of this game to get us back in this game and get us the W. Huge. Huge, huge, huge. And give a credit to Brett. Hey. Even though, you know, I didn't like his game plan really all tonight, I think they got real sloppy. Again, I mean, we were great with the ball movement tonight. I think we had close to 36 assists. Other than them freaking Trailblazers nailing 19 threes in our face and almost shooting 60%, we got back in this game, yo. How about Ben? Those free throws were huge. If it wasn't for Ben stepping up to that line and knocking down those 2 free throws, it wouldn't have mattered. Defensively, bum. This makes up for that shit. For sure. Huge. 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 But defensively, yeah, he sucks. He got cooked out there all night. But, you know, if he's able to hit some of these big shots and can consistently hit some of these big shots, then you got to leave him. I mean, maybe he's going to build some confidence with that last game. He, had 17 points? And he's really other than Tobias, a guy that can shoot the 3 on a consistent basis. But, you know, that's got to be huge confidence for this kid. And I hope he continues to grow and he can continue this game. But you can see the confidence growing as well because he even put the ball down on the floor. He had a nice move with that little floater. I hope he can continue to do this. Because if he's out there and he's just kind of stagnant and rushing shots, and he's going to get cooked out there on defense, it's just ask for effort. That's all it is. Ask for effort. But what a big shot by Korkmaz. Huge. Jesus. How about Big Al? Big Al, again, what an insurance policy, too. For not having Embiid out there, 25 points. He does everything right. Nights you don't need him to consistently get points. He'll do the right things. It will either be getting 16 rebounds or he'll set a great screen for Korkmaz like he did at the end of this game here. Great passer. And then you got Kyle Quinn coming in, chipping in 9 points. Aggressiveness, good defense. Yeah, Kyle Quinn has been great. I don't want to see him shooting 3 or 4 threes throughout the game, but, great on the boards, great second effort, setting screens, the energy. And I don't know about a lifetime, but it's the best defensive team I've seen for the Sixers. Ennis was big tonight, too. He was scrappy getting boards. He had a couple offensive rebounds. He kind of struggled in the beginning of the season, too, but he's starting to get a little bit of a flow. Good defensively, getting those offensive rebounds, hitting some shots. Jay Rich came alive a little towards the end of the game, too. Who do you think falls out of the rotation when Shake comes back, or do you think Shake will lose his mind? I don't... they're going to have to bring him back slowly. If Korkmaz continues to play like this, I think Shake's going to have to earn that spot back. Because you're going to have... and I even like what Raul Neto did. Or Raul Neto. To give a blow to Ben Simmons. He was able to attack. And Simmons was driving me a little crazy because all you got to do is really rush him and he panics and he throws the ball up. But he's got to learn, I know he probably doesn't want to go to the free throw line, but you're doing more when you do attack the rim. Even though if you don't make it or you even don't make the free throws, you're getting that team into foul trouble. And that's going to be able to adjust their whole game plan. They're not going to be able to play as tight a defense on them, so just attack them, Ben. It don't matter if you miss the free throws. Big that you hit those two. That was probably all season 2 biggest free throws he nailed, and I was a little nervous. I thought he'd split them, but he knocked down both. On this Hood, or kill it. Dame and Hood, yeah, dude. Rodney Hood, very awesome player, good defensively. He can knock down the big shot. I even think Anthony Simon, he was killing us. He gave a nice lift to them off the bench, and then you got McCollum. It's like, what do you do in that situation? And I hope that those 2 free throws book. So do I, because he just looks like he doesn't want to be contacted. He doesn't want to be fouled. And he needs to just get over that. Because you saw it. Even when he was during the offensive half-court sets, he just kind of stands around, doesn't look for the ball. Like when he scrambled and tripped that one, I can't remember who it was. It was before he bumped knees with Rodney Hood. He just wasn't even looking for the ball and it hit him right in the face. He's got to be more in tune. He does. I think he just panics. He doesn't know what to do. And all you got to do is rush him. You don't even have to throw hands in his face, and he just panics and he throws the ball up. He needs to just settle down, get out of his own head, because he has talent to do stuff. He loves to do that turnaround, fadeaway jumper, which I can't stand when he does. He should face up and just try to pop the shot right in his defenders, right between his eyes. Just shoot right in front of him. Was even that bad. They were great from behind the arc tonight. Our defense did help us get back into this game. It was huge. They didn't give up. They were stingy. They were diving after the ball. I mean, look at the steals and blocks ratio with them. We had, 8 more field goals than they made, but they just kept knocking down 3 after 3 after 3 after 3. They were scorching. I mean, poor freaking Dave back there. He's got to be ripping his hair out. Like, what else do I have to do? I go 8 from 12 from downtown. I dropped 33 points. They played an awesome game, and they still lost. No more Furcon slander from anymore. How much longer do you think you stay undefeated? If we lose to the Suns, I'm going to cry. Defense, defense, defense. We just got to play our game. That defense is going to turn into offense for us because we are not the greatest shooting team as we've seen. We're a very streaky shooting team. Even with Big Cork in there hitting that shot. You know I'm going to come with some Cork Moss slander. Definitely. Because he's going to get roasted on defense. But, if he can make up for it by hitting some big threes, then it won't matter as much. But I love the confidence in the kid. The past 2 games, I've seen a lot more confidence in him. And Tobias, I thought towards the end of the game when he was on Dame, I thought he did a pretty good job. Even he's played better defense. Korkmaz is a real rotation piece. Mini J. Nah, I don't think he's a mini JJ. Defensively, yeah. Lost by 14 to the Sixers. So if we just got to get, well, obviously gelling. The team's got to gel together. And it sucks that Embiid got suspended because you want to get as much cohesion between this team as possible. And when you're going on a big road trip out west like this, you want to have your best player there out in the court. But, I mean, look at the effort that the bench put in and the starters tonight to be able to scramble this win, come back from such a huge deficit, and get the W to move on to, what we played, Denver, the Suns. Not sleeping on the Suns because you know who always cooks us. Their best player. And I don't know if DeAndre Ayton's going to be playing when we do end up playing him. Bellinelli? Possibly. I think Bellinelli was a little bit better shooter. But, Cork's still young. What is he, 22? I mean, definitely the biggest shot in his career. I hope he can grow into a rotation piece that can stay in there. Oh, he's suspended? Oh, wow, nice. So we don't even got to worry about him. Awesome. I didn't know he was suspended. That's dope. His team is special. Yes, it is. And we could coach that up, and you got the leadership of Al Horford and even Ben stepping up vocally. There's people trying to bring the team down for what JoJo did with the whole fight with Cat, but I think that was like an adrenaline shot to this team. We have to shut down Booker. That is the main game plan for that team. They should be able to just double him or even put Matisse on him to chase his ass around. Just follow him all around if you can wear him out. Because that kid's got tons of energy. He's young. Just let him wear himself out with there. Even throw Ben on him, Jay Rich. All these guys can defend. I don't know if Cork should be a starter. I would probably leave him coming off the bench to kind of leave him in his game flow. I don't know if you insert him into the starting lineup, but Brett could kind of futz around with the starting lineup depending who the opponent is. So we'll have to see. Wait and see what the coach feels is best for this. But I'd rather have Cork coming off the bench, have him with Mike Scott, because you got 2 guys that can kind of stretch the floor and hit the 3. He's a sponge on defense. So, I'd just leave him coming off the bench. Then you'd have, we got him. I would like to see Trey Burke get some playing time too, but the 2 games I've seen Hole come in for and spell Ben for 5 to 6 minutes, I haven't hated. I've liked it. These are games. What is the game about the game? Winning 3. I know, right, dude? Awesome. I hate Aaron Baines. Let's want to rematch. All right, bring it on. I'd love to rematch the Cells again. I guess he stretched his game out because I remember when he was with, I know he could shoot like a 14 to maybe a 15-foot jumper. Who do you think plays Embiid, Matisse guard? I would put Matisse or Jay Rich on Booker. The Suns have a good squad with Rubio, Sarge, Oubre. Yeah, it's going to be a fun game, I think. All that offense is going to be run through Booker. We're going to get to see our man Super Dario again. Should be a good matchup. And Baines, we've got that old history with him being on the Celtics and bruising up Embiid. And then we've got the whole thing with Mikal Bridges. I wish Our boy that we drafted was going to be up with us, but he needs to start getting some gains under his belt down with the Blue Coats. Baines learned from remember when we like was trash creeper? Changed my name and logo. Oh yeah, I remember you. What's up, bro? How's it going? You're a Celtics fan, right? Well, we're looking good, man. 5-0. 5-0. And the Sixers have had one of the hardest schedules in the NBA so far. And last year, or the year before that, we wouldn't have won this game. So it just shows the maturity of this team, the veteran leadership that has come in here and helped. It's a good mix of young and some vet players, you know? But I still think we need to make a push for another shooter that can be more consistent because we can't be shooting, again, 33% from downtown. That would have helped us a lot better if we didn't have to rely on that stingy defense to get them steals and, you know, get them fast breakaways. I think we got 24 points off the turnovers tonight. But if we could have guys that could you know, consistently knock down them open jumpers, it would help us out a lot more. Yeah, barring injury, and if Embiid can stay on the court, hey, I'd take a CJ Miles. Absolutely, dude. I'd even call out Jay Croft. Yep, I'm a Celtics fan, but congrats to the Sixers. But I respect the Sixers. I'm doing great. Good, man. Good to hear. Hey, man, Melo, I feel bad for him as being blackballed. I don't think he's the type of player that we need just because he's not the greatest three-point shooter. He could be a liability on defense. Hey, man, I don't know how you could really blame Portland for what they did. I think they played a pretty great game. That just unfortunate events. You go for the shot, it swooshed. Melo's back hole offense. I don't know. I don't think Melo at this at this point in his career is the option for us to go. I would go after Jamal Crawford just because he's been in the moment. He's been multiple Man of the Year award. He can hit the big shot even though he's 40. Could he be a defensive liability? Yeah. But I'd rather have Jay Crawford than Melo, and it's kind of sad to say because I think Crawford's 40, and Melo's, 35? I think he could just bring a veteran leadership. He's not as much of a cancer as Melo is. Jason Richardson is horrible on defense. Jason, you mean Josh? Josh Richardson? I don't think he's horrible on defense. Like to use the Iggy just to complete the process. Bring him back. Bring it full circle. Bring him back from where he started. Mon Shumpert, I want a more consistent three-point shooter. Why do you hate Josh Richardson, King? You think he's trash? I think he did pretty good defensively. You know? And there was a lot of ticky-tack fouls in his call. I think he's been great on D, yeah. I haven't really had too many complaints on him. He's long. He can run a little bit of the point, but I'd rather see somebody have a backup point spot. Maybe we could throw a Trey Burke or I'm just calling him Raul. I can't call him Raul. Whatever the hell it is. Yeah, he's not we knew that coming over. I know a lot of people were thinking that he was going to be like a 35 to 36% three-point shooter, but I never saw it. I thought he was going to struggle from beyond the arc. His shot is ugly. It did seem like the refs are hating the Sixers this year, man. Especially after that second foul on Simmons when he was standing there and Simon pushed him over, ran into him, and it gets called on Ben. I couldn't believe that. And then the play after that, I just run the point, though. Still not sure about. Yeah, I don't like him running the point. I hated that. Richardson and Scott are the main suspects for the whistles. Just rest want JoJo out of here. 5-0 the first time since 0-1 finals. I know. It's so nice to see. And remember what happened when that. Yeah, he does need to use his challenges. There was 3 plays in a row where I thought he could have used that challenge. I don't know what he was holding on to it for. Unless he thought he didn't want to waste that one timeout. But it's like, come on, dude. You have it. You want to try to use it. He could have used it on the Simmons. I think he could have used it on that out-of-bounds play when they said Tobias touched it when he wasn't even near it. And I can't remember the third one, but he could have used it 3 times in a row, back to back to back. Safe to say Brett Brown's job is secure for a long run? Depends. You know, it's Eastern Conference Finals. I feel like even if we make the playoffs and we get knocked out, his ass is gone. You can't fight through a screen without getting a cough out. It's a ticky-tack league anymore. We've been pussified in all sports. Someone gets emotional over Embiid antics. I didn't care. I like that he stuck up for himself and fought. That was whatever, but I think it was a little over the top with him going on Twitter and going back and forth with him. I'm surprised he only got a 2-game suspension, so that was dope. You know, fight, let it be that, get the crowd pumped up. I'm cool with that, but like the whole social media shit, like, I don't know. I think that's stupid. That's immaturity, and I thought he would be a little bit past that, especially when he said he wasn't going to be Troel anymore. I don't know. You know, you don't want to cost your team either because you're their best player. We need you for every situation. But then you can look at it as this could be 2 games that would be load management anyway, so we get them out of the way, hopefully. Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't get fined either. He jumped on top of Cat and was choking him out, but happy he didn't. Because you need Ben Simmons in there for his ability to lock down defenders, rebound, push the tempo. Wish he would really get better in the half-court offense. I'm still seeing a lot of the old Ben. Not happy to see that. I thought a lot was going to change after what I saw in the first game. I was so enamored with what he was doing because he was attacking the basket. He was being aggressive. But now he's starting to fall back into his old ways. He's starting to disappear in the half-court offense. He's not looking to move, get open. Who needs a closer when we have Korkmaz? Hey, man, for this game, he was dope. Last game, I thought he was awesome. Chipped in 17 points. If he can continue to do that, I will not attack him. But what I've seen previous, and it could be a whole confidence thing and being young of why he struggled before. Maybe he just wasn't getting enough minutes, but I know over the offseason, he worked really hard, and he wanted to come back with the Sixers to kind of prove himself. So far, the last 2 games, okay, nice. He's not going to be a lockdown defender, right? He's not going to be all-defensive team. But if you can make up for it with shots on the offensive end when you're hitting game winners, all that shit don't matter at all. If you can fill in the slot of J.J. Redick, and I know you're going to do a way better defensive or you're going to play better defense than he did, cool. You can make major minutes into the rotation. Feels like a dream with him. Hopefully he can keep it going. I hope he can because he's got a quick release. That closeout, I'm glad he didn't panic. He didn't step out of bounds. In rhythm. Al hit the screen, pass, fluid, swoosh. I was a little nervous with .4. I was like, especially with the rest, what they were doing all night with calling fouls, I'm like, they're just going to throw up a Hail Mary, and they're going to call some BS shit on the Sixers. He's going to kick his leg out, and they're going to be like, oh, you didn't give him enough room to land. 3 free throws, boom, boom, boom. Thank God that didn't happen. They had Ennis on him. He just went straight up, and he bricked it. And you know what, Dame, his range is like Steph Curry. You're talking half court, anywhere on the court. We all saw what he did against Paul George and the Thunder last year in the playoffs. Yet, hey, Neto's been nice, man. I wasn't sure about him, but I like the signing of him. I'd still like to see Trey Burke in there. See what he can do. Even though I don't know if he can run instead of Jay Rich running the backup point, maybe split it between Owl and Trey. You got him on there. I've seen Norvell Pell with the team because Al's he's a good defender on the block, but he's not a shot blocker. And you could kind of see that tonight where that kind of worked against us. If you could have a Norvell Pell in there to be able to swat shots away, I would even like to give him a little bit of taste of the game. Seemed like Korkmaz was fouled on the shot, too. I was wondering that. It would have been ticky-tacky because he kind of slapped him on the wrist afterwards. So I would hope that the refs wouldn't try to end the game like that. with a ticky-tack foul to put us up 2 or affect the game. But, you know, nowadays with officiating, you never know. You always kind of hold your breath a little bit. We led for probably 12 seconds of this game. That's all that matters, man. We trailed the entire game, and for those 12 seconds, it's all that mattered. We played stiff defense. We did not foul. Credit to the team for not giving up, being down. You know, that's so demoralizing and deflating when they're just hitting these circus shots out there. Dame's hitting 35-foot threes. Just like banging them in your face. He's just standing there dribbling, pulls up, swoosh. I mean, he's so fun to watch. Incredible talent. Imagine if you could add that element onto the Sixers, what this team would look like. The Sixers put together a trade package for who? All games they couldn't miss. Ben has improved on his free throws, like his form. It is more fundamental. I mean, I think this is the worst he shot, though. Was he shooting 44%? Oh, man, how about that? I thought that was such a great defensive stop, and then he's hitting a fadeaway 3 in the corner with 2 bodies in his face. And it's just swoosh. I mean, they were just on fire tonight. Couldn't help but flashbacks when we lost 40 to the Blazers. Oof. That ain't happening no more. Not with the way Elton's constructed this team. I couldn't believe Tolliver was still playing. He's old. I mean, he's well-traveled. He's played for almost every team in the NBA except us. But I do remember him. Was he rocking high socks? He always used to rock the high socks back in the day, especially for Minnesota. That's what I remember of him. Oh, that's it? He's only 34? Jesus. I thought he was older. I don't think the team would ever lose in blowout fashion. Well, it almost happened tonight. So, I'm glad we were able to be a little resilient and get a backbone, and Brett got in there and coached him up. Sixers always have trouble in Portland. It's tough. I mean, you're going out west. Your time clock's all screwed up. You know, you're not used to playing games this late because you figure, 10 o'clock out here, man, when they're playing, 7 out there. So it's a drag. And it sucks for us fans that got to stay up this late. Should I get called up soon or no? I don't think he does, just with the way we're able to keep pulling out wins. I would still, again, like another consistent shooter. Even the mid-range game, I'd like to get worked in here. And Shayok, I think he's okay with that, but they're going to leave him down there. And unless we get major injuries, I don't think you'll see Shayok up here. Nah, Horford, this is what they planned on when they got Horford here. Embiid gets his days off, and they bring in Horford to play the center. You get small ball, but you get an intelligent guy that just does all the right things. I mean, he's won everywhere he's gone. College, 2 national championships. For all the youngins that didn't know Al Horford back then, won it with, God, I can't even remember their names, Corey Brewer and Noah. Won back-to-back titles. Awesome team. And then, you know, all the success with Atlanta, goes to Boston, wins. And now he comes here. He's just a smart, intelligent player. He just gets it done. He's not super athletic, but the old man's still out there breaking ankles and dunking. I love seeing that. Yeah, this was the worry, too, last year. When Embiid wouldn't play, you had Boban, who was a fan favorite, awesome guy, make you laugh. He's a big goon. Not the greatest basketball player. He's very slow. You can't really run an offense with him. You know, he'd get triple teamed. He'd fumble the ball around. Can't do that anymore. You've got really good backup center position with Al Horford, even though I still don't think he's worth the money we paid. We're still pissed about the money we paid him. But it looks like it was a great investment, even though we overpaid for him. But huge, because you don't have to worry about Embiid sitting out. Because look, 25 points from our backup center, and then Quinn chipped in 10 or 9. I mean, he's a good hustle guy. He can set screens. He's energy. He can even stretch the floor a little bit. Boban couldn't do that. You knew what Boban was going to do. He's going to stay under the basket and try to dunk on you with his size. Horford was the only guy I liked when he was on the Celtics, even though he killed us. He murdered us. He was Embiid's freaking Achilles heel. because he's a great post defender. He's a savvy vet. He's just smart. He knows how to get a great talent like Joel Embiid, even though Embiid had the size advantage. Oh, Quinn can pass too. Very good. Both of these guys are great passers. I hope Embiid can pick up some things from these two, from these two vets. I'm telling you, I'd like to see Norvel Pell up in here. Some swatting. Horford has been huge. Great move by Elton. He's been gigantic. Gigantic. So you also take the biggest Achilles heel away from the Celtics that would shut down Embiid, and you bring him over to us. So thank God the Celtics were too cheap to pay him. What was that about Embiid? I didn't see what you said. That's awesome. So now we got a day rest. We got to gear up. I think we play Utah next, right? I think it's Utah, and then the Suns, and then Denver. So, we play Suns next? Is Al Horford most underrated big of this era? He doesn't get a lot of love, that's for sure. Oh, God, Amir Johnson. Christ. Horrible, man. Absolutely terrible. I want to forget about those years. Moses in 82, Horford in 19. Missing pieces. Dude, I hope so. But great defensive players. But I think, yeah, he's definitely a very underrated big. He never really got too much love, I felt like, up in Atlanta. Then he got hated when he went to Boston. I watched the Suns, and their defense are improved. Amir was terrible. That was such a bad signing, but at that point, it was like we were just trying to get bodies in here. And we overpaid for him. Oh, God, freaking... Ugh, I don't even want to talk about it. You think he's been underwhelming? Toby? He hasn't been shooting as many threes, but I still think he's getting his. I think they work great. Him and Ben have a nice little two-way going on with them. He's able to, cut off screens and get cut to the basket. I don't want him jacking up like 8, 9 threes a game, but I think Toby's been pretty consistent. I'm happy with what I've seen out of Tobias. He's taken some big shots. I'd like for him to get more to be the closer, but yeah, Jonathan Simmons, that was awful for Markelle. Rest of Horford when JoJo comes back. I think we should give a game rest. Well, they are going to do that. So there's going to be some games where Al's not going to play, and it's going to be Embiid and Kyle O'Quinn. So that's what they figured on doing. They're figuring half and half. These guys aren't going to be playing either of them 82 games. JoJo because of his injury history, Al because of his age. You want to keep him fresh for the playoffs. Then you got Kyle Quinn. That's where we might see Jonah Bolden be coming in, getting some minutes. Norvel Pell. I hope Shea can get on his recovery because there's another guy that can hit some threes. And when you look at this team, it's like, who would you say is the best three-point shooter? It's either probably going to be, God, it's sad to say because I don't think Toby's a great three-point shooter. It's got to be either him, Cork, you got to throw in there, or Mike Scott's and I love Mike Scott. He brings grit, attitude, can hit big shots, and he can consistently, I think for his career, like at least a 37% three-point shooter. Awesome get. And I'm glad he stayed and we re-signed, and he stayed with us and re-signed. That was an awesome bench piece. And look at him tonight. He even put the ball on the floor and went to the hole and scored a couple twos. So far, Cork has looked better than in the past. I'd still like to see his defensive game better. Just because that's the staple of our team, because a lot of it's effort with defense. Scott pisses me off at times, though, like Marco Bellinelli. Why does Scott piss you off? I love Mike Scott. He's one of my favorite players on the squad. He embodies Philly, just like Embiid. I still got Hobbs and Love when he blows by trying to close out on him. Who is that? Philly, 2004. Who you talking about, bruh? Talking about Cork? He bites on it a lot. Oh, Al? Yeah. And he should know better than that. Didn't see the game. How was Ben Simmons? Simmons was okay. He wasn't great. He hit 2 big free throws, though. So he was huge. When it mattered most, he did what he needed to do. He still fell asleep on the offensive end. He's still really struggling in the half court. When he would get the ball in the post, they would just rush him, and he'd freak out and throw the ball out. He wouldn't even consistently try to throw up a shot. Even his baby hook is ugly. Like, it's just like, it seems like it's on his fingertips, and he just, like, flicks it real quick. He should, like, get with Al, because Al's got a great freaking move. With that baby hook. And he does need to dunk more. I know, he doesn't ever go up strong. He's always trying to bounce it off the backboard, but I think he's afraid of contact and getting to the line. Bush behind you. George, nah. It's Charlie. It's Charlie Manuel behind me. No George Bush. No president shit up in here. So, yeah, dude. Huge win for the Sixers. 5-0. Again, I think this is the 7th time in franchise history that we've started out 5-0. Yes, Arnold Palmer. Good friends with George Bush, actually. So, only undefeated team in the NBA. Have a nice night off. I'm going to the Eagles game tomorrow to see if they can beat the Bears. Just a huge win, especially being down so much. And big confidence builder for the young guys. Hey, we can't cross our T's and dot our I's yet. You know, even though it's a team that has consistently been bad for a very, very, very long time, their best player usually cooks us. Big time. So I hope Brett and the gang try to draw up a game plan on. I would throw multiple bodies at Devin Booker. I wouldn't keep one defender on him. I'd throw Matisse at him. I'd throw Jay Rich, Ben. I'd even put Al or Mike Scott on him at times. You got to mix it up. Keep giving them different looks. And it sucks that we won't have Embiid, but that's one game I don't think you're really going to need to have Embiid in there. And let the other players on that team. I'm just hoping Dario doesn't come back to cook us. I wouldn't be pissed if he did, though. Always a big Dario fan. They beat the Clippers without Kawhi, though. Speaking of Devin Booker, I heard he might want to trade. I don't know why he'd want to stay there. You know, he got his bread, so I understand trying to sign that contract and get that money. But I think he should try to stay it out or fight it out. See what he can do with Ayton. Ayton's a good player. They might have a little something going. You got to... This is a problem with these athletes nowadays. You see it a lot in football. They don't want to try to grit it out. They're so used to winning in high school and in college, and then they come to the NBA and they lose a few years, and it's like, well, I don't want to play here anymore. Let me go play for a good team. Why? I feel like organizations should stop giving in to crybaby players and stick it out. You know, did you see Embiid sitting here stop his feet? I mean, we have to be one of the nastiest, most crucial, awful rebuilds in NBA history with the way we constructed the team. It was painful, but wasn't it worth it, y'all? And there were so many doubters and non-believers in the process. They hated it. They wanted to go out and spend big money on old aging players to just get by the bare minimum, get in, sneak into the 8th seed, and continuously lose. Nope. Hinkie had a different plan, and I think it was well worth it. I was always a believer in the process because look where we're at now. Sometimes you have to get, for the most part, higher draft picks to be able to get talent. We're not getting Booker. There's no way. We'd have to give him Simmons or Embiid, and that's not happening. So we could just not even worry about that. It would be great if we could have a caliber-type player like him on this team that can create his own shot. That's our 2 biggest needs, and shooting. 2 biggest weaknesses on this team, but we're not giving up Simmons, and you're not giving up Embiid, so that's a pipe dream. It'd be awesome if they were willing to take, just draft picks. But even our draft picks aren't enticing. That's okay. Devin Booker doesn't have to play D. He can light it up from anywhere on the court. Dude's unbelievable. I wanted Rodney Hood too. That would have been a nice addition. He's a lefty, southpaw, can shoot the three. I mean, you see what he did to us tonight. Can play D. He just doesn't seem to be getting any rotation minutes. I'm not sure why. He's just not in the cards for him right at this moment. He'll get some time, though. Brett will mix it up. I wanted Tyler Herro in this draft so bad. And I was upset when we took Matisse Thybulle. I wasn't happy with that draft pick. I wanted us to use and package our draft picks to trade up to get Herro. I didn't think he'd go as high as he did to the Heat, but they seem to have fell in love with him. Because I watched him in college, I really liked what he did in college and his ability to shoot, and that's what we really needed. We decided to go the defensive route. I hope Matisse can, in time, learn to consistently knock down the shot. He hit one tonight, so that's awesome. I think Herro is going to be a very good player. I mean, they also got, what is his name? Kendrick Nunn on there that's lighting it up too. He's been great defensively. Awesome. But, you see when he gets those steals and he goes on the fast break, he doesn't look for contact. A lot of these guys don't want to look to get to the line. He should. But he's a rookie. He'll learn that over time, I hope. He's done it twice now where he tried to go for the reverse layup and he's dinked it on the front of the rim. Go ahead, young fella. Body him up. Go into the body. Get the foul. Go to the free throw line. Try to get points there. Don't try to hit some crazy game shot. Kendrick Nunn's 100. Yeah, he's killed it. I was so surprised by Kendrick Nunn. They have a great coach, though. Love their coach, Eric Spoelstra. If he was ever get let go by Pat Riley in the Heat, and for whatever reason Brett didn't work out here, whatever happens, he should be the replacement. But I don't see that happening anytime soon. Because look what Spoelstra's been able to do over the years after he lost the big three. Seeing the dynamic we've been able to create with Matisse. See what we say. Yeah, Kendrick Nunn was undrafted. They have a couple undrafted guys on there that have been putting up some good games. You got Bam Adebayo, who wasn't a high pick. Can't remember if he was in the low lottery, like 13 or 14. I think Herro was 13th overall. Yeah, Bam Bam's good. The Sixers are great at drafting. We hit on Embiid and we hit on Simmons. Simmons is good, so I can say we hit on Simmons. But I mean, other than that, they kind of missed on Jaleel. Nerlens Noel. Dario's okay. Shake was traded for. Shamet was a nice little find. El's been pretty good at getting players from the draft. Yeah, I loved Shamet. You had to give up to get something for Toby. Oh, yeah, Zaire, thank you. I don't know what Zaire is going to be. I wasn't too happy about getting that whole thing. Zaire and Mikal Bridges. And wouldn't it have been awesome if we took Michael Porter Jr. at that spot at number 10? I mean, people didn't want to take him because it was a wait year, but we've done it for how many years? And look what ended up happening with Zaire. Even though he got that weird peanut allergy and almost died and shit. So he technically sat out, but we still had to wait for him. But Michael Porter Jr. would have been the top number 1 overall pick that year. And he would have been a nice little piece off the bench. I know. I watched it. Looks good. Worth the wait. Kind of like Embiid was. Worth the wait. I wish we would have took him at 10, man. I really do. And just chalked up Mikal Bridges and forgot Zaire Smith. Could have had Michael Porter Jr., MPJ. This team feels special right now. They are. Yeah, MPJ's huge. He's like 6'9", 6'10". KD length. KD range. It would have been awesome, man. Really, really wish. But he does have an injury history, kind of like Embiid. And his whole family does, actually. His brother's all banged up and tore a couple of his ACLs. So I hope MPJ can stay healthy like Embiid has. Well, for the most part. Because people said Embiid wouldn't even do anything or he would stay away from him, and it's a gamble. And I think we won on that gamble. Poor Bobo. I'm pulling for him. I hope Bobo can do something. Yeah, Zion, that's another. He's going to have to lose weight because he's too explosive, and you can't be that explosive and be that heavy. He's young now. It's only going to get worse as he gets older. I believe we do. I don't know off the top of my head what our draft status is, but I think we do have OKC's pick. I don't really know off the top of my head. But I'm going to get out of here, guys. It was a great win. I've lost my voice from screaming. Yeah, he's huge, and he's explosive. Zion, he's going to be an exciting player. And I pray to God he will be healthy by the time they come here in December and play the Sixers, because I want to see him play live. Maybe trade that for a good player. Yeah, I'd have to look and see. I still do think the Sixers will be active around the trade deadline, if not before. But look at that defense, baby. I'm an old school cat. You know, football, everything. Defense wins championships. I'm going to continuously repeat it with this day and age and with the younger kids, with their ADD and having all these juiced up freaking, with the way they've geared sports and ruined it. Baseball. I'm not going to say basketball, really. Football, they've done it. You know, everything's geared towards offense because they can't keep their attention span to anything. And it's so annoying, and I hate it. Because I miss the old days of hard-hitting defenses in football and baseball, not having the baseballs juiced and having, you know, record-breaking years with 950 home runs. Shit's corny. It's the only reason the Nationals won the freaking World Series, but I'm not even going to get into that. I fucking hate Nats fans. They're trashy-ass city. I hate them. I'm going to get out of here. This is Kyle Gaffner with the Bitter Birds. Sixers are 5-0 for the first time since 2001, y'all. 19 years. 19 years. This looks like a special team, guys. Really does. We're going to get Embiid back in a couple games. We're going to finish out this West Coast trip. Hopefully we'll be undefeated by the time we come back. Play Charlotte on the 10th. All right, guys. I'm out. Peace.